Today what I want to talk about is zombie or survival hunting, backpacking with something other than a gun. So we've all seen your compound bows. This one's mine. They're short, lightweight, got a lot of kill zone to them, got my sights and everything. But the trouble is, it does not break down, so it makes it kind of bulky. And you can only carry so many arrows. With this one, you have to have specific arrows. These are carbon arrows because it being a compound bow, you can't just shoot cedar or stick twigs or just regular arrows. So it doesn't make what you call a real good survival bow, because once you run out of arrows, there's not a whole lot you can do. So what I want to do is I want to show you some alternatives. Okay? So, me, I like to go to flea markets and yard sales. So what I did was I found this one. It didn't have a string on it. This is an old PSC. It is a takedown bow. Now, it's only 30 pounds on your pull weight, so it's really not strong enough to kill a deer. I guess in a survival situation, if you had to, you might get lucky. But they do make these in 45 pound, which would be okay. I bought this one. It didn't have a string on it. I got it for $10 at a yard sale. The good news is it is kind of long, but you can pull these out. Let me finish getting it out here. And the limbs come down, and it all will fit into a nice little sturdy package. Like that right there. Okay? And that right there will fit in a backpack and everything. My next one would be, this is an old Bear. It's fiberglass. It's 45 pound. They made these years ago. It doesn't come apart, but it is streamlined. There's not a lot of thrills to it. You just got your rest on it. There's no place for sights. It is your bare bone. I picked this one up at a flea market. Again, it didn't have a string, so I got the bow for $10. And like the other one, I ordered the string online. Online, I'm sorry. It cost me $10. And then what I did was I went ahead and added my little pull loop, because with my compound, I use a release. So I just went ahead and set it up with those. If you want to stick to the basics, some people use just the glove for the 3 fingers. The downside is if you learn how to use that, then you always have to use that glove. So if you're going to carry a glove, you can just go ahead and carry your cable release. You could learn to do it with just your fingers. But the good thing about these bows are you can shoot just about anything in them. You can shoot your carbon arrows in it. You can just shoot your old fiberglass, your old aluminum. There's some nice carbon arrows. You can shoot cedar arrows in it. If you run out of arrows, you can make your own, because it doesn't have everything as far as drawback and release and cable systems that create a lot of pressure on your compound bows. These are just your bare minimum, so you can shoot those. That's what makes them really nice as a backup just to carry. Yeah, like I said, it probably only weighs 1.5 pounds. It's a no frills bow. And like I said, you can shoot about anything in them. You can make your own arrows. But when I do pick up these older bows, I usually take the bottom part, kind of stick it between my feet, close my feet up, and then I use one of my knees to kind of bend it sideways to flex it just a little bit. And then, you know, you want to lightly run your hand up the edges and across the face. I say lightly because if it's got any splinters in it, they'll get in your hands and they are kind of hard to get out. So you want to do it because you want to check to make sure that it's not splintering with both of these. You want to check them, visually check them, to make sure there's no splintering or separation, because like these bows, I don't think they make them anymore. So this one's probably from the 60s or 70s. And if it wasn't taken good care of, you got a problem with it. When you go to pull back, it's just going to bust. So I like to double check everything, you know, to make sure there's no splintering. And then I'll go ahead and string it. And then I'll, you know, check it as I pull it back to make sure that everything's going good. Kind of keep everything away from my face without an arrow in it to make sure everything's good. Don't let go of the string. And then you can put an arrow in it and shoot it and see how it's going to work. This one works out really good. This is a 45-pound draw, so you can take this one hunting. And like I said, they're just a great alternative. They don't take up as much room as what your compound would, and you can shoot just about any kind of arrow in them. I know some people, for survival, they like the crossbows. But then again, you got a lot of pressure. You're limited as to what kind of bolts and arrows that you can shoot through it. So if you've only got a couple dozen and you either miss or you hit something, you hit a bone, you bust it, you shatter it, pretty soon it's no good for you. You can't do anything with it because you can't remake arrows. Where these, like I said, you can make them out of tree branches. Small trees. There'll be how-tos. You can probably find them on YouTube, how to make your own arrows, and you can shoot them in these. Okay, like I said, just a little different. So I normally do gun reviews on pistols, shotguns, rifles, and stuff like that. So I thought I would kind of show you a survival. And I mean, it's this thing's just easy to put back together as well. I mean, it only takes less than a minute to put this one back together, and you're ready to go. With this one versus the fiberglass one, you can put a better arrow rest on it. It has a place for your stabilizer, and it is set up so you can do sights and quiver. But it is a nice one. Just a little something different. Okay, keep checking back. More videos.